Question 1. During a comprehensive review of a process that needs improvement a consumer protection agency is investigating a company accused of using bait and switch tactics in its online advertisements. The company advertised a popular laptop at a deeply discounted price, but upon customer inquiries, claimed it was out of stock and aggressively promoted a more expensive model instead. Under federal consumer protection laws, which of the following best describes the legal implications for the company? A. The company is legally allowed to promote alternative products as long as they inform the consumer about the change in availability. B. The company has violated the Federal Trade Commission Act (FTA) by engaging in unfair and deceptive trade practices. C. The company can continue the practice as long as they provide written disclaimers about potential stock shortages. D. The company's actions are only illegal if consumers were forced to the more expensive model. Answer. B. The company has violated the Federal Trade Commission Act (FTA) by engaging in unfair and deceptive trade practices. Explanation. Bait and switch advertising is considered a deceptive trade practice under Section 5 of the FTA, which prohibits unfair methods of competition and deceptive acts affecting commerce. The FTC has consistently ruled that companies engaging in false advertising or misleading marketing tactics can be subject to fines, injunctions, and other legal penalties. Why is incorrect. Simply informing consumers about a change in availability does not excuse the company's original deceptive intent in advertising product at an unrealistic price to lure customers. YC is incorrect. Written disclaimers about stock shortages do not legalize bait and switch schemes if the original advertisement was designed to mislead consumers into thinking they could buy low-priced product. D is incorrect. Consumers do not have to actually purchase the more expensive product for the practice to be illegal. The attempt to mislead alone can constitute violation. The FTC has the authority to investigate, fine, and enforce compliance on companies that engage in such deceptive marketing tactics. Question 2. When dealing with a complex system that shows occasional inconsistencies, a financial institution has been flagged for violating the Fair Credit Reporting Act (FCRA) after a consumer discovered inaccurate credit information being reported about them. The consumer disputes the erroneous data, but the credit bureau refuses to investigate the matter within the required time frame. Which of the following best describes the legal obligations of reporting agencies in this scenario? A. The credit bureau must investigate disputed information within 30 days under the FCRA, or they risk violating consumer protection laws. B. The credit bureau has no legal obligation to investigate unless the consumer provides official legal documentation proving the error. C. The credit bureau may choose whether or not to investigate based on the consumer's past credit behavior. D. The credit bureau must automatically remove disputed information until full review is completed. Answer. A. The credit bureau must investigate disputed information within 30 days under the FCRA, or they risk violating consumer protection laws. Explanation. The Fair Credit Reporting Act (FCRA) is a federal law that regulates the accuracy, fairness, and privacy of information in the files of consumer reporting agencies. Under the FCRA, credit bureaus must investigate consumer disputes within 30 days. If they fail to do so, they can be subject to fines, penalties, and legal action from the Consumer Financial Protection Bureau (CFB) or private lawsuits. B is incorrect. Consumers do not need to provide official legal documentation proving an error. They simply need to submit a formal dispute to trigger the Bureau's legal duty to investigate. C is incorrect. The credit bureau cannot refuse to investigate based on the consumer's past financial history. Every disputed entry must be properly reviewed. D is incorrect. While disputed information must be marked as disputed, it is not automatically removed until the credit bureau completes the investigation and confirms the error. This case highlights the importance of consumer rights in financial reporting and the duty of credit bureaus to maintain accurate records. Question 3. In a situation where formal requirements conflict with consumer protection principles, a health insurance company denies coverage for an emergency medical procedure, claiming it was not pre-approved under their standard policy. The patient, however, argues that delaying the procedure for pre-approval was impractical and dangerous under emergency medical treatment laws. Under consumer healthcare protection laws, how should this case be handled? A. The insurer is legally justified in denying the claim if pre-approval was not obtained, regardless of medical urgency. B. The insurer may deny the claim but must offer an internal appeals process under patient rights regulations. C. The insurer cannot deny coverage for emergency medical care if the procedure was deemed medically necessary as per federal healthcare laws. D. The insurer must cover the procedure only if the patient financial hardship. Answer C. The insurer cannot deny coverage for emergency medical care if the procedure was deemed medically necessary as per federal healthcare laws. Explanation. Under the Emergency Medical Treatment and Labor Act, EMTALA, and consumer protection principles in healthcare law, insurance providers cannot deny emergency medical treatment solely on the basis of pre-approval requirements. YA is incorrect. Federal healthcare laws protect consumers against unreasonable insurance denials, particularly in life-threatening emergencies. Pre-approval is not legally required in urgent medical situations. YB is incorrect. While appeals processes exist, emergency medical treatments must be covered immediately if deemed necessary. Patients should not have to wait for an appeal. YD is incorrect. Insurance decisions are not based on financial hardship in emergency situations. Coverage must be determined based on medical necessity. The Affordable Care Act (ACA) and various state laws further reinforce protections against unfair medical claim denials, ensuring that consumers are not denied life-saving medical care due to bureaucratic insurance policies. Question 4. In a high-stakes environment where multiple challenges impact consumer rights, a national retailer introduced a new return policy that drastically shortened the return period from 90 days to 14 days for all electronic products. The company also required customers to provide original packaging and receipts, and they refused returns on opened items, even if defective. After several complaints, a consumer advocacy group filed a complaint with the Federal Trade Commission (FTC), arguing that the policy was unfair and deceptive under consumer protection laws. How might the FTC evaluate this case? A. The FTC would likely rule in favor of the retailer, as businesses have the right to set their own return policies. B. The FTC could find the policy deceptive if it was not clearly disclosed before purchase or conflicts with implied warranty protections. C. The FTC would automatically declare the policy illegal because return periods must be at least 30 days. D. The FTC has no authority over retailer return policies and dismiss the complaint. Answer. B. The FTC could find the policy deceptive if it was not clearly disclosed before purchase or conflicts with implied warranty protections. Explanation. Under the Federal Trade Commission Act (FTA), business practices that are unfair or deceptive can be challenged. A return policy itself is not inherently deceptive, but if it was not clearly disclosed before purchase, customers could argue they were misled. Additionally, the Magnuson-Moss Act protects consumers from warranty limitations that prevent them from returning defective products. Even if a retailer refuses returns of opened items, they cannot override implied warranties that ensure a product functions as promised. A is incorrect because while businesses can set their return policies, they must not mislead consumers about their rights. C is incorrect because there is no legal requirement for a 30-day minimum return period, though some state consumer laws may impose such restrictions. D is incorrect because the FTC enforces consumer protection laws, including against unfair return policies. Thus, option B is correct because the FTC could intervene. Policy is deceptive or contradicts consumer warranty protections. Question 5. During a comprehensive review of a process that needs improvement, a state legislature evaluates whether to strengthen consumer credit protections. One proposal suggests increasing penalties for predatory lending, specifically targeting payday lenders who charge triple-digit interest rates. The industry argues that payday loans provide necessary financial services for low-income consumers. How might consumer protection laws regulate payday lending practices? A. Payday lenders are exempt from federal and state regulations as long as they disclose their fees. B. The Truth in Lending Act (TILA) requires clear disclosure of interest rates, but additional state laws may regulate interest caps. C. The Fair Credit Reporting Act of CRI prohibits payday lenders from issuing loans with interest rates above 30%. D. The Dodd-Frank Act makes all payday lending illegal at the federal level. Answer. B. The Truth in Lending Act (TILA) requires clear disclosure of interest rates, but additional state laws may regulate interest caps. Explanation. Payday lending is regulated by both federal and state laws. The Truth in Lending Act (TILA) mandates that lenders disclose the annual percentage rate, APR, finance charges, and loan terms in a clear format. However, states can impose interest rate caps to prevent predatory lending. States limit payday loan interest rates, while others allow triple-digit APRs. A is incorrect because payday lenders must comply with TILA and state regulations regarding interest rates and lending practices. C is incorrect because the Fair Credit Reporting Act (FCRA) regulates credit reporting agencies, not loan interest rates. D is incorrect because the Dodd-Frank Act does not ban payday lending, but it does give the Consumer Financial Protection Bureau (CFPB) authority to regulate unfair or abusive practices. Thus, option B is correct because TILA ensures transparency, while states can impose stricter lending limits to prevent predatory practices. Question 6. When implementing new protocols in a shared environment, a credit card company updates its terms of service to include mandatory arbitration clauses. This means that customers who have disputes cannot sue the company in court or participate in class action lawsuits. A consumer advocacy group argues that this violates consumer rights. What legal principles apply to this situation? A. The Federal Arbitration Act (FAR) allows companies to enforce arbitration clauses, but they must be fair and clearly disclosed. B. Arbitration clauses are illegal under the Fair Credit Billing Act (FCBA) if they prevent consumers from disputing charges. C. Consumers always have the right to file lawsuits even if they agree to arbitration. D. The Consumer Financial Protection Bureau (CFPB) has banned arbitration clauses. Financial agreements. Answer A. The Federal Arbitration Act (FAR) allows companies to enforce arbitration clauses, but they must be fair and clearly disclosed. Explanation. Under the Federal Arbitration Act (FAR), companies can enforce mandatory arbitration clauses, but these clauses must be clearly disclosed and not overly one-sided. Courts have generally upheld arbitration agreements in consumer contracts, but unconscionable terms, e.g., forcing arbitration in unfair forums or imposing excessive costs on consumers, can be challenged. B is incorrect because the Fair Credit Billing Act (FCBA) allows disputes over billing errors but does not prohibit arbitration agreements. C is incorrect because if a consumer agrees to arbitration, they typically waive their right to sue. D is incorrect because while the CCRB previously attempted to limit arbitration clauses, the regulation was repealed in 2017. Thus, option A is correct because arbitration clauses are legal, but they must be fair and properly disclosed. Question 7. In a situation where formal requirements conflict with consumer protection laws, a major airline implements a policy requiring passengers to purchase an additional service to qualify for refunds on cancelled flights. A consumer rights organization claims this violates airline passenger protections. Under federal law, how is this policy likely to be viewed? A. Airlines can impose any refund policies they choose as long as they are clearly disclosed. B. The Department of Transportation requires airlines to issue refunds for cancelled flights, regardless of additional service purchases. C. The Airline Deregulation Act prevents consumer protection laws from regulating refund policies. D. Passengers must file a lawsuit to challenge such policies as no federal agency oversees airline refunds. Answer. B. The Department of Transportation requires airlines to issue refunds for cancelled flights, regardless of additional service purchases. Explanation. The Department of Transportation enforces federal laws requiring airlines to issue full refunds for flights cancelled by the airline, regardless of ticket type or additional service purchases. Airlines cannot impose extra conditions to deny refunds. A is incorrect because airlines must comply with refund regulations, even if policies are disclosed. C is incorrect because while the Airline Deregulation Act limits state laws on airline pricing and routes, it does not prevent the from enforcing consumer refund rights. D is incorrect because the has authority to enforce refund policies and passengers do not need to file lawsuits to seek refunds. Thus, option B is correct. Regulations protect consumers from unfair refund conditions. Question 8. During a critical transition period where existing processes must comply with updated industry regulations, a financial institution implements a new risk assessment framework. The framework requires stricter documentation, periodic audits, and real-time monitoring of transactions. However, employees complain that the new system slows down operations and creates bottlenecks. What is the most appropriate way for the institution to balance compliance and operational efficiency? A. Remove certain compliance requirements to speed up transactions. B. Provide comprehensive training to employees and implement automation where possible. C. Ignore employee concerns since compliance is legally required. D. Delay the new framework implementation until employees adjust to the workload. Answer. B. Provide comprehensive training to employees and implement automation where possible. Explanation: compliance is essential, but it should not significantly hinder operations. The best approach is to train employees to understand the new system and implement automation to reduce manual effort. A is incorrect because removing compliance measures violates industry regulations and exposes the institution to legal risks. C is incorrect because ignoring employee concerns can reduce productivity and morale. D is incorrect because delaying implementation could put the institution at risk of non-compliance penalties. Thus, B is correct because training and automation ensure both efficiency and compliance. Question 9. In a multi-location scenario where consistency requirements must be met, a global retail chain standardizes its return policies across all stores. However, state laws differ in terms of refund periods and conditions. Some stores are forced to deviate from the standard policy to comply with state laws. How should the company manage this issue? A. Apply the strictest return policy across all locations to ensure consistency. B. Allow variations based on state laws while ensuring the core policy remains the same. C. Enforce a single policy regardless of state laws and deal with any legal consequences. D. Let each store decide its own return policy independently. Answer: B. Allow variations based on state laws while ensuring the core policy remains the same. Explanation: while standardization is ideal, state laws take precedence. The company should allow flexibility where required by law, but maintain a core policy framework for consistency. A is incorrect because applying the strictest policy everywhere may unnecessarily inconvenience customers in states with more lenient laws. C is incorrect because enforcing a single policy that violates state laws could result in fines or lawsuits. D is incorrect because letting each store set its own policy independently could create confusion and inconsistency for customers. Thus, B is correct because it ensures legal compliance while maintaining overall consistency. Question 10. When implementing new protocols in a shared environment where digital security is a concern, a hospital adopts a strict multi-factor authentication (MFA) policy for electronic medical records. However, staff members find the process time-consuming and difficult during emergency situations. What is the best approach to balance security and accessibility? A. Require MFA only for administrative staff while medical personnel use a simpler login process. B. Implement alternative authentication methods, such as biometric or badge-based login for medical staff. C. Remove MFA requirements for all employees to speed up access. D. Allow employees to disable MFA if they find it inconvenient. Answer: B. Implement alternative authentication methods, such as biometric or badge-based login for medical staff. Explanation: security is crucial for protecting patient records, but accessibility during emergencies is also important. Biometric authentication or badge-based login can provide both security and speed. A is incorrect because limiting MFA to administrative staff leaves medical records vulnerable. C is incorrect because removing MFA increases the risk of data breaches. D is incorrect because allowing employees to disable MFA defeats the purpose of security protocols. Thus, B is correct as it ensures both security and efficiency. Question 11. In an environment where different components must interact effectively, a supply chain network faces delays due to inconsistent data between vendors, warehouses, and distributors. The company decides to introduce a centralized data sharing system. What is the most effective way to implement this? A. Require all vendors and distributors to adopt the company's data system. B. Use an interoperable system that allows different parties to exchange data seamlessly. C. Have each vendor send daily reports manually to the company's headquarters. D. Let vendors use their existing systems without enforcing data sharing rules. Answer: B. Use an interoperable system that allows different parties to exchange data seamlessly. Explanation: an interoperable system ensures seamless communication without forcing every vendor to use the same platform. A is incorrect because forcing all vendors to use the same system is unrealistic and may cause resistance. C is incorrect because manual reporting is inefficient. D is incorrect because lack of standardization leads to data inconsistencies. Thus, B is correct because interoperability enables efficient data exchange. Question 12. During an emergency response where multiple areas are impacted, a city implements an automated alert system to warn residents about natural disasters. However, some residents report not receiving alerts due to poor mobile signal coverage. What is the best way to improve the system? A. Rely on mobile alerts and instruct residents to check their phones regularly. B. Incorporate multiple alert methods, including radio, sirens, and social media. C. Require all residents to install a specific mobile app for emergency alerts. D. Send alerts only to residents who have signed up for notifications. Answer B. Incorporate multiple alert methods, including radio, sirens, and social media. Explanation. A multi-channel approach ensures broad coverage even if mobile signals fail. A is incorrect because relying only on mobile alerts is ineffective. C is incorrect because not all residents may have the required app. D is incorrect because relying on opt-in notifications reduces effectiveness. Thus, B is correct because using multiple alert channels maximizes coverage. Question 13. In a situation where resource allocation comes a challenge, a hospital struggles with limited ICU beds during a pandemic. What is the best strategy to ensure efficient patient care? A. Adopt a triage system that prioritizes patients based on medical urgency. B. Admit all patients on a first-come, first-served basis. C. Limit ICU beds only to patients with private insurance. D. Transfer all critical patients to other hospitals. Answer A. Adopt a triage system that prioritizes patients based on medical urgency. Explanation. A triage system ensures fair and efficient use of resources. B is incorrect because first come, first served does not prioritize critical cases. C is incorrect because denying care based on insurance is unethical. D is incorrect because transferring all critical patients is impractical. Thus, A is correct as triage prioritizes care who need it most. Question 14. During a major transformation where existing methods are being replaced by AI-driven automation, the manufacturing company faces resistance from employees who fear job losses. What is the best strategy for managing this transition? A. Implement the automation immediately and dismiss employees who resist the change. B. Provide training programs to help employees transition into new roles. C. Ignore employee concerns and continue with the transformation as planned. D. Delay the implementation until all employees accept the changes. Answer B. Provide training programs to help employees transition into new roles. Explanation. Employee resistance to automation is a common issue, but training programs can help workers adapt to new roles rather than lose their jobs. A is incorrect because immediately dismissing employees creates negative morale and legal risks. C is incorrect because ignoring concerns can lead to higher turnover and resistance. D is incorrect because delaying indefinitely can affect business competitiveness. Thus, B is correct because reskilling employees helps both the company and its workforce. Question 15. While examining inconsistencies across various units, a retail company notices significant variations in inventory data between physical stores and its online platform. What is the most effective way to resolve these discrepancies? A. Require store managers to manually update inventory every day. B. Implement a real-time inventory tracking system integrated across all platforms. C. Ignore minor discrepancies since they do not significantly impact revenue. D. Use different inventory management systems for online and physical stores. Answer B. Implement a real-time inventory tracking system integrated across all platforms. Explanation. A real-time tracking system ensures data consistency across all channels. A is incorrect because manual updates are prone to human error. C is incorrect because even minor discrepancies can escalate over time. D is incorrect because using separate systems leads to further inconsistencies. Thus, B is correct because it automates inventory updates, reducing errors. Question 16. In a situation where formal requirements conflict with practical needs, a government agency must implement strict cybersecurity policies but finds that these policies slow down urgent decision-making. What is the best approach? A. Eliminate certain security measures to speed up decision-making. B. Develop a risk-based approach that balances security and efficiency. C. Require full compliance without any adjustments. D. Assign decision-making to a separate team that bypasses security protocols. Answer B. Develop a risk-based approach that balances security and efficiency. Explanation. A risk-based approach ensures critical functions remain secure while minimizing inefficiencies. A is incorrect because reducing security can expose sensitive data to cyber threats. C is incorrect because full compliance without flexibility can cause operational bottlenecks. D is incorrect because bypassing security completely creates vulnerabilities. Thus, B is correct because it allows for balanced, risk-aware decision-making. Question 17. During an emergency response where multiple areas are impacted, A city's disaster management team struggles to coordinate between fire, medical, and police departments. What is the best solution to improve coordination? A. Assign single team to handle all emergency responses. B. Use centralized communication system that integrates all emergency departments. C. Allow each department to operate independently with minimal coordination. D. Rely solely on radio communications for interdepartmental coordination. Answer: B. Use a centralized communication system that integrates all emergency departments. Explanation: a centralized communication system improves real-time coordination among emergency responders. A is incorrect because a single team cannot manage diverse emergencies effectively. C is incorrect because minimal coordination reduces efficiency. D is incorrect because relying only on radio communication limits information sharing. Thus, B is correct because it ensures efficient multi-agency emergency response. Question 18. When developing a solution that must address opposing needs, a tech company designing a new smartphone must balance affordability with high-end features. What is the best approach? A. Focus only on premium features and ignore cost considerations. B. Develop different models that cater to both budget and premium customers. C. Reduce all high-end features to minimize costs. D. Offer one standard model regardless of customer needs. Answer: B. Develop different models that cater to both budget and premium customers. Explanation: offering different models allows the company to serve multiple market segments. A is incorrect because ignoring cost makes the product unaffordable for many customers. C is incorrect because removing premium features may weaken the brand's appeal. D is incorrect because one-size-fits-all approach limits market reach. Thus, B is correct because it balances affordability and premium features. Question 19. While investigating a complicated issue between different teams in a corporate environment, a manager finds that miscommunication is leading to repeated project delays. What is the best approach to improve communication? A. Implement a structured reporting system with regular updates. B. Allow teams to communicate only when absolutely necessary. C. Reduce team interactions to avoid further miscommunication. D. Assign all communication responsibilities to a single person. Answer: A. Implement a structured reporting system with regular updates. Explanation: a structured reporting system helps teams stay aligned and minimize delays. B is incorrect because limiting communication worsens coordination. C is incorrect because reducing interactions increases misunderstandings. D is incorrect because centralizing communication creates bottlenecks. Thus, A is correct because it ensures clear and consistent communication. Question 20. In a high-stakes environment where multiple challenges must be addressed simultaneously, a construction company must complete a project on time while managing safety risks and budget constraints. What is the best strategy? A. Focus only on speed and ignore safety regulations. B. Allocate resources efficiently to balance time, safety, and budget. C. Reduce project scope to meet the deadline. D. Delay the project indefinitely to avoid risks. Answer: B. Allocate resources efficiently to balance time, safety, and budget. Explanation: efficient resource allocation ensures progress without compromising safety or budget. A is incorrect because ignoring safety violates legal and ethical standards. C is incorrect because reducing scope may make the project ineffective. D is incorrect because indefinite delays increase costs and create inefficiencies. Thus, B is correct because it allows for effective project completion. Question 21. While analyzing the root causes of sequential problems in a supply chain, a company finds that frequent delivery delays are caused by both supplier inefficiencies and internal process bottlenecks. What is the best approach to resolve these issues? A. Penalize suppliers without addressing internal inefficiencies. B. Improve coordination between suppliers and internal teams while streamlining processes. C. Switch suppliers frequently to find one that never has delays. D. Ignore the issue as delays are a normal part of supply chains. Answer: B. Improve coordination between suppliers and internal teams while streamlining processes. Explanation: both external, supplier, and internal factors contribute to delays, so the best approach is to improve coordination and streamline internal processes. A is incorrect because penalizing suppliers alone does not address internal inefficiencies. C is incorrect because frequently changing suppliers disrupts consistency. D is incorrect because ignoring delays leads to poor customer satisfaction and higher costs. Thus, B is correct because it provides a balanced long-term solution. Question 22. During an emergency response where multiple areas are impacted, a hospital must manage an influx of patients while ensuring enough resources for critical care. What is the best strategy? A. Treat all patients on a first-come, first-served basis. B. Use a triage system to prioritize treatment based on severity. C. Allocate equal resources to all patients regardless of condition. D. Focus only on the most critical patients and ignore minor cases. Answer: B. Use a triage system to prioritize treatment based on severity. Explanation: a triage system helps prioritize patients based on medical urgency, ensuring optimal resource allocation. A is incorrect because first come, first served does not prioritize the most critical cases. C is incorrect because equal distribution wastes resources on non-urgent cases. D is incorrect because neglecting minor cases can lead to preventable complications. Thus, B is correct because it ensures efficient and fair emergency response. Question 23. In a multi-location scenario where consistency requirements must be maintained, a company notices different service quality levels across its branches. What is the best way to standardize service? A. Implement strict operational guidelines and regular training programs. B. Allow each branch to operate independently with its own rules. C. Penalize branches that fail to meet standards without offering support. D. Reduce service options to make standardization easier. Answer: A. Implement strict operational guidelines and regular training programs. Explanation: strict guidelines and training programs ensure that all branches meet the same quality standards. B is incorrect because allowing independent operations leads to inconsistencies. C is incorrect because penalizing without support does not fix root issues. D is incorrect because reducing services limits customer choice and revenue potential. Thus, correct because it ensures service quality across all locations. Question 24. When scaling up operations that experience significant inefficiencies, a company struggles with communication breakdowns and workflow disruptions. What is the best way to manage expansion? A. Expand first and solve issues later. B. Develop a structured scaling strategy that includes process improvements. C. Ignore inefficiencies as they are expected during growth. D. Reduce operational complexity by cutting departments. Answer: B. Develop a structured scaling strategy that includes process improvements. Explanation: a structured strategy ensures that growth happens smoothly without major disruptions. A is incorrect because expanding without preparation worsens inefficiencies. C is incorrect because ignoring inefficiencies leads to long-term failures. D is incorrect because cutting departments may eliminate essential functions. Thus, B is correct because it allows for controlled and effective scaling. Question 25. During a comprehensive review of a process that needs improvement, an organization finds that employees resist changes due to unclear objectives. What is the best approach to gain their support? A. Clearly communicate the reasons for change and involve employees in the process. B. Implement the changes immediately without explaining them. C. Ignore employee concerns and enforce strict compliance. D. Delay the process indefinitely to avoid conflict. Answer: A. Clearly communicate the reasons for change and involve employees in the process. Explanation: clear communication and employee involvement ensure that changes are well received and effective. B is incorrect because sudden implementation creates confusion and resistance. C is incorrect because strict enforcement without support lowers morale. D is incorrect because delays prevent necessary improvements. Thus, A is correct because it promotes understanding and acceptance. Question 26. When implementing backup procedures across various departments, a company discovers that different teams use conflicting methods. What is the best way to create a unified system? A. Standardize backup procedures across all departments. B. Allow each department to continue using its preferred method. C. Stop using backups altogether due to inconsistencies. D. Implement separate backup systems for each team. Answer: A. Standardize backup procedures across all departments. Explanation: standardizing procedures ensures consistency and reliability in case of failures. B is incorrect because multiple methods lead to confusion and inefficiencies. C is incorrect because eliminating backups is extremely risky. D is incorrect because separate systems create unnecessary complexity. Thus, A is correct because it provides a single efficient backup solution. Question 27. In a high-stakes environment where multiple challenges arise simultaneously, a CEO must decide how to allocate limited resources. What is the most effective strategy? A. Focus resources on the most critical challenges while maintaining balance in other areas. B. Spread resources equally across all departments regardless of needs. C. Reduce spending to conserve resources without considering priorities. D. Focus only on immediate problems and ignore long-term goals. Answer A. Focus resources on the most critical challenges while maintaining balance in other areas. Explanation. Prioritizing critical challenges while maintaining balance ensures stability and progress. B is incorrect because equal distribution may neglect urgent needs. C is incorrect because blind cost cutting harms future growth. D is incorrect because focusing only on the short term leads to instability. Thus, A is correct. Allocates resources effectively. Question 20. While investigating a complicated issue between different project teams, a manager finds that misalignment in goals is causing inefficiencies. What is the best solution? A. Establish clear shared objectives and regular check-ins. B. Let teams continue working independently. C. Ignore the issue and focus on individual team performance. D. Reduce collaboration between teams. Answer A. Establish clear shared objectives and regular check-ins. Explanation. A shared objective and regular communication ensure alignment and efficiency. B is incorrect because working independently increases misalignment. C is incorrect because ignoring the issue leads to long-term failures. D is incorrect because reducing collaboration worsens inefficiencies. Thus, A is correct because it creates synergy between teams. Question 29. When developing a solution that must address opposing needs, a company designing new software must balance security with user-friendliness. What is the best approach? A. Implement flexible security settings that allow customization. B. Prioritize security and make the software complex. C. Remove security features to make the software easier to use. D. Ignore security concerns altogether. Answer A. Implement flexible security settings that allow customization. Explanation. Allowing flexibility in security settings balances user experience and protection. B is incorrect because overcomplicated security discourages users. C is incorrect because removing security makes the software vulnerable. D is incorrect because ignoring security is irresponsible. Thus, A is correct because it ensures both security and usability. Question 30. While reviewing multiple conflicting reports about a project's progress, manager notices discrepancies in key data points. What is the best approach to verify accuracy and ensure informed decision-making? A. Cross-check data from multiple reliable sources before drawing conclusions. B. Rely on the first report received and proceed without further validation. C. Ignore discrepancies and focus only on positive outcomes. D. Dismiss all reports and restart data collection from scratch. Answer A. Cross-check data from multiple reliable sources before drawing conclusions. Explanation. Cross-checking multiple reliable sources ensures data accuracy and reduces the risk of misinformation. B is incorrect because trusting a single report may lead to biased decisions. C is incorrect because ignoring discrepancies creates blind spots in decision-making. D is incorrect because starting from scratch wastes time and resources. Thus, they correct because it ensures well-informed, data-driven decisions.